So let's talk about Merlin.
Hit me.
Have you enjoyed playing a more powerful Morgana?
No, it's been awful. I want to go back to the girl standing in the background. I do so well. I do so well. Come on, who doesn't love a bad girl? You know, this year she's so empowered, she's so confident, she's so in control of everything, and nobody tells her what to do. You know, you think about the Morgana in the first season, and then you see her now with Agravain, and you would never have seen her have that much control over someone else. I mean, she would have tried but never been able to carry it through, and now she is entirely in control of her own destiny. And we've got the 2 new episodes coming up now, the final 2-parters, and she's, you know, leading her own army, she's driving it in, she's attacking Camelot, she's taking over, it is her force. You know, and who doesn't want to play that?
Definitely. Have you had fun working with Nathaniel?
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's a laugh a minute. I don't know if you've ever seen any of the outtakes. I think they probably made it onto the internet at this point. It is a laugh a minute. All he does is crack up and cracks the rest of us up. It's brilliant. He's got a great laugh as well. It's just this really cheeky giggle.
Great. We've heard Morgana's got a surprising end to the series. Can you tease anything about that?
Can I tease anything? I saw it yesterday, actually. I was in doing ADR. It's typical Merlin. We're right down to the wire. The show's on tomorrow night, and we're still recording dialogue for it. And I asked them to show me the ending, and what's the best way that I can put it? Was the way that our exec, Julian, described it to me, is the ending is the basis of one of the main myths that come out about in Arthurian legend. It's not one that everybody's familiar with, but it's setting up a very powerful and pertinent myth that runs through the Arthurian legend, and the last shot of season 4 is setting that up for season 5. So if you ask me again next year, I'll be able to explain it to you, but it's not even entirely clear. It's what's great about the end of season 4 is it sets up season 5 so brilliantly. Everybody's going to, rather than, you know, before we sort of left on this sort of lovely sort of finishing note because we didn't know whether we'd be commissioned. We know that we're doing season 5, so now this is just going to make you want to be September next year and start the new season.
But the producers of Merlin have said they'd consider going past series 5, or they've hinted it could continue. Would you be happy to carry on that one?
I think it all depends on how they sort of spin out season 5 and with the legend. You know, there's so much there. There's so many different interpretations. There's so many stories that they haven't told. And you think about all the stories of all the knights, you know, and their backstories, Percival, Gawain, and all of them, they've all still got to be told. So I don't know what's going to happen in season 5, and they won't tell me, which is driving me nuts. So I think it depends what they give us in season 5 to do. You want it to, whenever it ends, to end on the right note. And if that takes 7 seasons, if it takes 10 seasons, if it takes, you know, another 3, you want to tell the story properly. So we're kind of in the hands of the producers, to be honest. Yeah. You should ask Johnny and Julian. They are our gods. They are the Merlin gods.
And there were talks about the possibility of a Merlin movie. Have you heard anything more about that?
Isn't that mad, though? You know, here we are 4 years later. And I remember, because you guys have always been very, very good, Digital Spy, been very good and supportive of Merlin, and you're always there at the start. But could you have imagined at the start, 4 years ago, coming down and seeing us in Cardiff, you'd be talking to us about possibly doing a film? I mean, it's insane. You know, it's the 183 countries, it's the action figures and the top trumps and the DVD, and now it's on Christmas Eve. You know, it's part of Christmas Eve telly. And they're talking about a movie. It's just, you can't wrap your head around the fact that it's become this sort of phenomenon, and you're part of it. It's brilliant.
Would you like to be part of the movie then, I'm guessing?
You want to tell a story. You want to, you know, bring it to the big screen. You want it to be better than Potter. That's what it's all about, isn't it? And I just worked with Tom Felton, and I kind of was sitting there going, yeah, we're both evil. We can so do it. Sad but true.
And you mentioned you've got your action figure. What do you think of it? Do you like it?
It is possibly the culmination of my life. I could probably die now, but I must be buried with my action figure. And with all the Star Wars ones around me too, because they're all about the same size. But I've said this story before, but my mum has, because I love Pirates of the Caribbean, she bought me a Jack Sparrow one. So they're sitting on her dresser. There's the Morgana one and the Captain Jack Sparrow one next to each other. So you're kind of living the dream. I mean, does life get any better than that?